What's going on, my friends? Once again, nice to have a fifth quarter. After a Trailblazers victory, Portland, for the second time in as many nights, crushed the Dallas Mavericks 140-23. And really, it looked like a repeat of what we saw last night at Moda Center, where the Blazers tonight shot the ball extremely well. They were over 50% on their field goals. They were 17 of 44 from three-point range. And they tied a season low with just 8 turnovers, giving them just 20 in the 2 games against Dallas. They also were on fire with the offense as they dished out 28 assists. They had 34 last night, and we saw the same thing. Multiple people involved, the ball moving around the floor, the offense in a good flow, and guys making shots. And tonight, just like last night, the starters led the way. Dame had a game-high 40 points. He dished out 6 assists, and he shot the ball extremely well. 10 of 17 from the floor, 4 of 9 from 3, and he made all 16 of his free throws. He was sensational. They got 20 points from Ant, 20 points from Nurk, and 20 points from Jeremy Grant. Grant was 7 of 10 from the floor, 4 of 5 from 3. Nurk, 5 of 8 from the floor, 2 of 4 from 3. And Anthony Simons, 7 of 16 from the floor. And the rest is history. Blazers get the victory. They cruise tonight. They put up 42 points in the fourth. You know, Dallas kept the game close with no Luka. They had a 3-point deficit at 98-95 entering that final quarter. And then the Blazers put on a massive 24-8 run to put the game away, and Dallas never threatened after that. And now Portland will move on to Denver and get ready for a game against the Nuggets, which you know is going to be brutal. It always is when they play the Denver Nuggets in the Mile High City, and after that, they're back home. Important stretch coming up for Portland, regardless of what happens in Denver. Nuggets tonight, or on Tuesday night, they come back home for Philly, the Lakers, Spurs, Jazz, and Raptors. They finish up the homestand the final day of the month, January 30th, and then they take off for 3 games against Memphis, Washington, and Chicago, all 3 on the road right before the trade deadline, and then they're back home for several more. Milwaukee, Golden State, Oklahoma City, the Lakers, and the Wizards. So basically, the Blazers are at home now for pretty much the next month, aside from this game coming up on Tuesday in Denver. And the Portland Trailblazers right now, look, we can't overreact. It's 2 games. 2 wins against Dallas. It's exactly what they needed. They're starting to get that feel back in terms of their offense and the flow and guys making shots. But you just got to go one at a time. It's all about stringing together wins right now. The beauty of it, as we talked about with the Western Conference, take a look at this. The standings now after the 2 wins against the Mavericks, Portland is still 9 games out of first with a record of 21-22. But they're just 2 games back of the Mavericks now for 5th place in the Western Conference and just 3.5 back of Sacramento, who is in 4th. So the opportunities are there for the Blazers, but they've got to string together some wins, and they've got to find a way to, convert these 2 victories back-to-back over the Mavericks into continued better offense, better energy, better ball protection, all the things you saw over the last couple of games. It's all about duplicating that and finding that consistency. One other good note tonight, we saw the return of not Anthony Simons, but Nasir Little, who played his first game after missing 21 with the hip injury. He had 10 points, 2 steals in 16 minutes of action, made 3 of 6 from the floor. Just getting him back on the floor and having another guy added into the rotation is going to be huge for Chauncey Billups. And that is that. Blazers get the win. They're 21-22, and we'll move on now to Denver for this game against the Nuggets on Tuesday night. Tip-off at 6. We'll have game day starting at 3 here on 620 Rip City Radio. My man Chris Burkhardt is here. Chris, almost a copycat performance of what we saw last night with the victory and the way that Dame played, the entire starting lineup, the offense, the ball security. They look sharp, especially there in that fourth quarter. What was your takeaway? What did you see out there?
This, Chad, now is 2 games in a row. I know this is going to sound really weird, but it's 2 games in a row where the Blazer who played the most minutes played 36 of them. No Blazers in the 40s. The luxury of being able to sub out and play the bench at the end. I mean, that is huge. That is huge. I like that. And then secondarily, as the chat on YouTube's already popping off, who knew Dame was good in the pick and roll? Gosh, like who knew that one? I'm glad Chauncey unlocked that one the last 2 games, right? The Blazers are going back to what they have not only found success with over the years, but they're starting to play over the last 3 games. See, even that loss against Cleveland, they're playing the brand of basketball that they found success with at the beginning of the season, pushing the tempo, getting the ball moving, hitting that PNR.
Well, the funny thing is we were talking about this. Nate Jones on NBA, who's on Twitter, he's part of Dame's inner circle. And when he started really piping up about the pick and roll, getting Dame in the spread pick and roll with Nurk, amazingly enough, we started to see it that night, and we saw the effects. 50 points for Dame, and that had to be part of the discussion. And again, I understand that Chauncey's got a way and a style that he wants the guys to play, which is fine. But being a good coach is adapting to the players that you have and putting them in the best position you can to have success. You and I have talked about this. Dame's been playing the same way for his entire career.
Yep.
It's probably a good idea to have him utilize some of those sets with Nurk in the pick and roll situations because that's what he's good at. That's where his comfort zone's at, and Nurk is a great screen setter, the best on the team.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Now, and not only has it led to him finding success over the last, 3-4 games plus, Yusuf Nurkic has been incredible. He's been incredible. Another 20-point performance tonight. Like, he's been consistent. He's been good at the rim. He's been good, air quotes, defensively. Like, he's having a very good stretch of games here. And again, it's no coincidence that everyone starts playing well when you start going back to what you know has worked well.
All right, Chris Burkhardt, Chad doing it's the 5th quarter. We'll keep things rolling here on the show. Portland cruises tonight, 140 to 123. Dame with 40 points and 6 assists. Just 8 turnovers tonight, tying a season low, and Portland scoring a season high 140 points in this victory over the Mavs. You got the 5th quarter on your home of the Blazers, 620 Rip City Radio.
The fifth quarter on 620 Rip City Radio presents the Scoreboard Report, brought to you by the Stadium Sports Bar and Grill, A-Lene's ultimate venue for sports fans every Monday night, featuring beer and wing specials and more.
All right, let's get you up to date around the world of sports. Boy, what a great sports weekend it has been. And we'll go and kick things off with the NFL playoffs and the things that went down today. You got to love it. We'll start out with what we saw in the morning. The Buffalo Bills take out the Miami Dolphins 34-31. Josh Allen was 23 of 39, 352 yards and 3 touchdowns. They will advance now and take on the Cincinnati Bengals, who topped the Baltimore Ravens 24-17. Tyler Huntley in the loss, 17 of 29, 226 yards and 2 touchdowns. J.K. Dobbins had 62 yards rushing. Jamar Chase, 9 receptions, 84 yards, and a score. And the New York Giants take out the Vikings in Minnesota, 31-24. Big day for Daniel Jones. Had 78 yards rushing. He was 24 of 35 passing for 301 yards and 2 touchdowns. And don't forget about tomorrow night, Monday Night Football. Cowboys in Tampa to take on the Bucs. Dallas is favored by 2.5, 5:15 kickoff on ABC and ESPN. In the association today, the Knicks take out the Pistons in Detroit 117-104. New York now 25-19. Julius Randle 42 points and 15 rebounds. The Clippers top the Rockets in LA 121-100. Man 31.6 boards. In Chicago, the Bulls top the Warriors 132-118. Nikola Vucevic 43 points, 13 rebounds and 4 steals. The Thunder top the Nets in Brooklyn 112-102. Josh Giddey, 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 9 assists. The Kings over the Spurs in San Antonio, 132-119. Sabonis, 18 points, 8 boards, 8 assists. In Denver, the Nuggets edged the Magic, 119-116. Jokic, 17 points, 10 boards, 14 assists. And the Sixers over the Lakers in LA, 113-112. Joel Embiid with 35 points. LeBron, 35 points, 8 boards, and 10 assists. And your Portland Trailblazers over the Dallas Mavericks, 140-123. Dame with a game-high 40 points, and he dished out 6 assists. And that is your scoreboard report brought to you by A-Lene. Yusuf Nurkic tonight with 20 points for the Trailblazers was on the floor after the game with Brooke Olzendam.
He hit 2 huge threes tonight. Just how confident are you in that shot this season?
Big time. I believe it work every day. I believe it since day one that I could do that. I'm glad that coach and my teammates trusting me, so I'm trying to do what I practice.
In all your seasons prior to this combined, you hit 32 threes. Tonight, this season, you hit your 33rd. You talked about the work you put in. Just how much was that this offseason?
Big time. I feel like every season, every off season, I do that. It's a matter of just the coaching staff and coach trusting me, believing my teammates, believing too. So I feel really confident that.
Are you surprised defenses are giving you space? I mean, we see you hit them all the time.
Not often that I thought I'm gonna be. I feel like now they look close out too. So I gotta get still practice shot on that I do, and I'll be all right.
Last night was a dominating win. You follow that up with another one. What was key to this victory tonight?
Stick together, man. They have, some people rest, some people injured. We care about us, try to be better every day. And I'm glad that we did take care of business tonight.
Nice to have Nasir Little back.
Amazing. I missed that brother there. He looked great. I know how much he worked, put a lot of work in to get back. Obviously, we missed a couple more players, and we're excited to get him healthier.
Nice job, sharpshooter.
Thank you.
All right, there you go. There's Nurk with Brooke Olzendam after the game. Nurk tonight, quite effective. 20 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 assists. He was 2 of 4 from 3. And Burkhardt, check this out. For Nurk this year, he has hit 33 three-pointers so far in the season. Nurk has made more threes this season than he has in his entire career combined, 32. Interesting.
It's impressive.
It's impressive. He's been working on it.
The thing is, with the way he shoots them, like you look at last year when he kind of started to add it to his bag of tricks, everyone was like, no. The shot form now looks a lot more fluid, obviously a lot more confident. And last year when he was hitting them, you obviously felt like, oh, it's a lucky shot from Nurk. Right now, he's hitting them, shooting them with confidence, and when he makes them, nothing but net, man. They're beautiful shots, really. So kudos to him for putting in the work.
All right, we'll go to the phones in just a moment. Let's get to our drive of the night.
It's time for the Portland Trailblazers Drive of the Night, here on the fifth quarter, hosted by Chad Dewing, 620 Rip City Radio. Drive of the Night is brought to you by Dick's Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Wilsonville, ready to compete with the lowest prices in town.
Dallas can make it a one-possession game. Takes it to the wing in front of Walker. Left-hand dribble, backs it up on the Moda Center logo. Crosses over, swings it to Bullock. Ball fake, now he attacks, drives, goes up. Rejected by Sharp. Batted in the air, picked up by Sharp. 2-on-3, goes behind his back. Gives it to Payton, bounces it out to Dame. Dame swings it underneath the Payton, and he roasts it in. What a pass by Damian Lillard.
There's your drive of the night, 503-248-0620. Let's go out to Dan in Southeast. Dan, welcome to the fifth quarter. What's up, brother?
Hey, man, what a great win tonight. And you guys stole it. It couldn't have put it better. It wasn't just the fact that they got the W. It was the way that they won the game and the consistency. It looked very similar to the win last night, even without Luka. Just in terms of, I mean, you said it, the return to the Dame and Nurk pick and roll, like that's been really effective. I get the sense that at least part of it's got to be that coach doesn't want to get too predictable, so that we've got, something for the playoffs. I think that's also maybe why we're seeing a little less zone than we did, in the first quarter of the season or whatever. But there's a reason why. I mean, it's a very difficult play to stop. They're really, really good. Nurk sets terrific picks, and Dame's obviously one of the best. And I also think that a missing ingredient here, and this goes back to like the last iteration of playoff contending Blazers. What was the problem? The problem was that the pick and roll was great, but when opponents would scheme it and shut it down, Mo Harkless and Al Farouk Amino could not hit threes consistently. Mm-hmm. And when I see that, Nasir's going 3 for 5, I love the fact that Josh Hart took 6 threes, even though he only hit one of them. He's got that shot. He's going to have off nights. It happens. But that's the formula that's led to success, and it was really, really good to see them return to that. Awesome to see Nasir contributing in his first game back, because I know that guy's worked plenty hard to come back. And after the string of injuries he's had, it's got to be really good for him to make a difference. Super, super nice to. I mean, we spend all this time analyzing the games. At the end of the day, take care of the ball, get contributions from your bench, and rely on Dame to bring you home and score in buckets. That's a winning formula. That will, if they check those boxes, this is a playoff team, period. And finally, I know that, one game is one game, but this game on Tuesday against Denver, that's going to be huge for them, just for their confidence. I'll be interested to see. To me, whether they or not they get the W is as important as how they come out. But I think they're playing with confidence right now, and they've got to be seeing that as an opportunity to send a message that they're playing together and pointing in the right direction. It's pretty awesome to see. So onwards and upwards, baby. Rip City.
Hey, dude, great phone call. Really appreciate it. They can still have actions that they run and be able to have some movement in the offense that they can work off the pick and roll to be able to have that type of variety. Because as you mentioned, the downside of the pick and roll and becoming predictable in that sense is that the good defensive teams in the postseason are able to shut it down. But they do have, some better shooters around Dame. And I think just abandoning the pick and roll, that spread pick and roll with he and Nurk is ridiculous. So, maybe the losing streak and the struggles were a good thing with the offense because it's forced them to go back to the drawing board and come up, with some new wrinkles and to get back to the pick and roll. And you can still have your actions and movement and do some of the other things you want to do, but yet still have the bread and butter there for Dame to get him off, which is nice. All right, we'll come back on fifth quarter. And we're going to step into the coach's corner. We'll hear from Coach Billups, get his take on what he saw tonight. But another sound performance for the Trailblazers. Just 8 turnovers tonight. They shot better than 50%, 17 of 44 from 3. And they score a season-high 140 in the victory over Dallas. 140-123. You've got the fifth quarter on 620 Rip City Radio. All right, fifth quarter, Blazers rock the Mavs tonight, 140 to 123. Last night on the fifth quarter, we played the sounder of Chris's daughter going gangsta in a voice text message to her sister. Stop! But sent it to the wrong family member. What was the family's reaction, including your wife, after they heard what went down on the fifth quarter last night?
Well, you see, we're lucky enough to have this fancy YouTube, so I could send her the YouTube link exactly where it started, which was nice. Yeah, she watched it. She lost it laughing, so she sent it to her sister, who, snitched on her little niece, and she was cracking up laughing. Then my daughter got embarrassed that, Auntie snitched on her, but then I showed her the video this morning, and she thought it was hilarious. You put me on the radio? I did.
Oh, that's so good. All right, 503-248-0620. Let's step into the Coach's Corner.
It's time for the Coach's Corner with Chauncey Billups on Blazers Game Day, presented by Henderson & Daughter. Henderson & Daughter has been supplying superior design service, quality windows, entry doors, patio doors, and window installation to the Portland and Southwest Washington area since 1977. Before you decide to just replace your current windows or exterior doors, have our designers present you with a free in-home design consultation and estimate to show you the different styles we carry that can give your home a fresh new look. Henderson & Daughter, your window and door experts.
All right, here's Coach Billups after the Blazers put up 140, a season high, and tied a season low with 8 assists in the win over the Mavs.
Obviously, we had a lot of guys that play well on the offensive end in the game, but, turnovers, not only do they, stop you from scoring, but it hurts your transition defense, which hurts your overall defense, and it just kind of deflates you. Out there, stops runs. So we've done an amazing job of taking care of the ball these last couple games.
It looked like in the second quarter you were playing with some lineups that you haven't really used before. The couple that had Jabari at like the 4 or the 5, and with Jeremy out there, a couple of different ones. Is that something that just like getting Nas back opens some of that stuff up for you? Would you just kind of decide to try some stuff out?
Well, they did a good job. They started attacking our 5s. We were, our pick and roll coverage. We were having to switch at the end of it, and they started attacking Drew, attacked Nurk. Nurk picked up a couple calls, and it was hurting us. It was hurting us. So I said, you know what, maybe let's take a peek at Jabari at the 5. I think Jabari guards pretty well, other than just rookie fouls, and then Nas. Coming in, who obviously I thought Nas played great for us tonight. His shot making was huge, but his athleticism, almost on the tip dunk, like the things that I said before the game, we really missed that from him. So I was happy to see him come back and feel good about it.
Third quarter. Chauncey, you guys have had so many games over the last month, the last few possessions, last minute. How does it feel to have these two where you were able to hit starters at the end? And
Yeah.
Does that give you some kind of reset in some ways, basically, when this next stretch?
I think so. More than anything, I just feel like the way we're playing with each other on both sides of the ball is more than anything centers us. More than anything, and being able to get away from teams and sit our guys at the end. I mean, we've been playing our starters obviously a lot of minutes over the last stretch, but now we're getting a lot healthier, and I don't have to lean on them as much. So being healthier helps.
Have you seen something different out of Damian in the last 4 or 5 games? It seems like he's elevated, at least his offense.
Yeah. He's playing. He's just laser focused right now. He's attacking every pick and roll coverage that they throw at him, and that quick twitch that he has getting to the basket. I mean, what do you do with that? He's coming downhill at you. It's tough to retreat because he shoots it so well, and if you come up, he's around you so quickly. So he's just playing at a really, really high level and feeling good and healthy. So we're just kind of hopping on his back right now, but he's also just doing such a great job of facilitating too. Teams are showing him a lot of double teams and blitzes, and he's just finding an open guy, So he's leading the charge for sure.
Chauncey, third quarter, Mavs could lose for 41.
Yeah.
You really kept it close. What is it that you
looked at or kind of going into the fourth quarter to try to slow them down more than them just being shorthanded?
Yeah, I thought we had a letdown a little bit, coming out in that third quarter, which I was proud that we didn't have it at the start of the game. But we had a letdown a little bit in the third quarter, and, Jeremy got in foul trouble a little bit, had to change up, some lineups and play some different, just throw things against the wall a little bit. And then fourth quarter, I was able to get back to kind of our conventional, rotation, so I think it's going to be like that, when you guys come back from injury and trying to implement them into lineups, and you have to play some different lineups at times.
Is that a little bit of an area of growth for you, though, that you have these letdowns and it doesn't just spiral? You have this letdown and then you can kind of like get yourself out of it?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's something for all of us, to be able to recognize something, and whether it's change coverage or, call a timeout at that time to stop the run, like those are just, things that I've personally, I think, gotten better at, just as I start to get more experience.
All right, there's Coach Billups, clearly happy with the play of his squad tonight, as he should be. The execution the last two nights on offense has been razor sharp. The energy, their approach to the game, love the way they kicked off that fourth quarter with a 24-8 run to put the game away. And now they can feel good about themselves as they get ready for this massive challenge coming up on Tuesday night in Denver. Fifth quarter, Chad Doing, Chris Burkhart. Let's get to our poster play of the night.
The fifth quarter poster play of the night is brought to you by Collection Connection, the leaders in framing sports memorabilia, team awards, and so much more. Collection Connection offers you a one-stop, full-service framing experience. Find them online at COLLCONN.com.
Dame on the wing with a minute to play in the period. Now to Little. Picks up his dribble, looks for Sharp in the corner. Crosses over in front of Powell. Now he drives the baseline, goes up and under it, dunks it in on the face of Powell. Puts Dwight Powell in a poster.
There you go, poster play of the night. We'll come back on fifth quarter, and when we do, we're going to hear from Dame, and we'll take your phone calls, and Chris and I will take a look ahead to what's coming up on Tuesday with the Nuggets. Big win tonight. Back-to-back wins for the Blazers over Dallas Saturday and Sunday. 140 points tonight, season high. Tying a season low in turnovers with 8. And Dame went. He was a cold piece out there tonight. 40 points and 6 assists. The Blazers 17 of 44 from 3. And I'll tell you what makes the game easy the last two nights. Make shots. You got the fifth quarter. All right, 503-248-0620. Fifth quarter, Chad Doing and Chris Burkhart with you. The shows will be going tomorrow on Martin Luther King Day. Justin Myers, Rip City Morning, 6 to 9. And Dwight's back from his Mexican vacation. Rip City Drive from 3 until 6. And the next Trailblazer game will come up on Tuesday in Denver. Tip-off at 6. Game day will start at a special time that day at 3. So that's what's coming up over the next couple of days here on 620 Rip City Radio. Let's step inside the locker room.
It's time to go inside the locker room with Damian Lillard, presented by Oregon Dungeness Crab. Sustainably harvested, uniquely delicious, and always wild. Oregon Dungeness Crab always sounds good for dinner.
Well, let's take a listen to Dame. 40 points, 6 assists tonight. He has been sensational over the last 3 games, and he was tonight in Portland, 17.1 over Dallas.
But everybody's walking away from, games saying that whether they win or lose. So I think we got to be happy with the fact that we're playing a way that's like positive and fun to watch, and also giving us a chance to win. And we just got to keep making corrections. And it's better to to do that in wins than losses.
How do you think Nas looked at his first game back?
I thought he looked great. He was flying around, crashing offensive glass like we used to him seeing. He was shooting the ball with confidence. And just having guys out there, if they're going to, run 2 guys at myself, run 2 guys at Ant, having a guy out there that can raise up and make that 3 confident like he was tonight that's a weapon for us. And I told him a few days ago when I watched them playing a Stay Ready game after we lost to Orlando, they were playing, for like 30 minutes, and Nas was just out there in attack mode. He looked confident. He looked, like he was really believing. And I told him I noticed it, play with that same energy in the game. And I think he came out tonight, and he was excited to be back. He had a long time away. I just think his mind is clear. He's fresh, and he looked good.
What do you think of those kind of smaller lineups that Chauncey went with in the fourth quarter, the ones with like Jabari at the 5, that you were in one of them, and one of them, like, that was kind of a look that we haven't really seen
Yeah, I mean, we got some guys on our team that bring different things to the table. Bari is a guy that can make threes. He can switch and guard every position. He's a great rebounder. He plays physical. You're going to see that. You got to throw those lineups out there to kind of create an issue for the other team. And I feel like in situations it was stuff we could have did better, areas where we struggled at. I think one time we gave up like 5 offensive rebounds in 1 possession. I don't know if that was the group. I think Drew was in at that time, but I think the lineup was pretty small at that time. And, it's some things we got to clean up, but I think we kind of just ran with whatever, CB decided. It was like small lineup, big lineup, starters, whatever. We just kind of kept doing what we needed to do. So, I felt good about it. I feel like our pace was really good with that small lineup too. Just a lot of good action.
What have you thought about your rhythm offensively lately? It seems like it's coming as easy as it was earlier in the season. And also, are you making concerted attempts to get to the rim a bit more right now?
Yeah, I mean, I just been attacking. Like I said yesterday, I just been attacking. I think, we got a lot of guys that are capable on our team this season. So I've kind of taken a position of just kind of assessing the game to start, and I've stopped doing that. You know what I mean? I'm playing the game honest, like, okay, if 2 people come to me, I'm gonna give it up. But I've just been coming out the gate to attack. Getting downhill, get in the paint, just make them have to address whatever I'm doing, and then just go from there. And that's playing with more pace, not walking the ball up so the defense can get set, getting the ball up the floor, random actions, moving them side to side, just giving them a lot to think about and a lot to deal with, and just being aggressive. It's more of a mentality than me changing how I play.
There you go. There's Dame, and it is a mentality, and you've seen it the last 3 games. Not just the better shot making, but getting downhill and attacking the rim. And part of that comes from putting him in the pick and roll. I love Dame. The last 3 games, just watching him play, it's like, okay, he's trying to kill somebody out there. Mike chimes in on the YouTube chat and says, saw the Nuggets beat the Clippers a couple of days ago without the Joker. This is one deep team. Don't sleep on Murray. He's getting back to the old Murray. Yeah. You and I know this, Chris. We respect the Nuggets. Well-coached, Michael Malone. Deep team, and they've got the Joker. They're a problem. They are a legit problem in the Western Conference, and they know it.
Yeah, just like you said, they're a deep team and very, very well coached. And if they get not just Murray and Joker, but if they get Gordon and Michael Porter going, dude, I mean, they got weapons on weapons on weapons.
All right, let's get to our shot of the night here in the fifth quarter.
It's time for the Nothing But Net Shot of the Night here on the fifth quarter, 620 Rip City Radio. The Nothing But Net Shot of the Night is brought to you by Oregon Dungeness Crab. Sustainably harvested, uniquely delicious, and always wild. Oregon Dungeness Crab always sounds good for dinner.
Little with the hesitation across the timeline. Now to Sharp. Back to Little. 3 on the way. Got it! Nasir Little from downtown, his second made 3 of the game. And the Mavericks take timeout. Blazers lead at 86-79. Nasir Little, his first game back since November, has extended the Blazers lead to 7.
It's the fifth quarter. Chad doing Chris Burkhart. Let's go out to the phones. You know what's funny, Burkhart? We got people on the YouTube chat requesting Victor in Turkey. I like that.
Hey, man, if our fans are getting their own fans, we're doing it right.
He's got it, and you know he's going to be in a good mood because Ant Simon went for 20 and looked pretty good tonight.
Yep.
The offense was humming. Let's go out there right now. Victor in Turkey, big Blazer fan. What's up, Victor?
Hi, my friend. Thanks for the chance. I really love it. They beat the really good team, like a contender team. A total of 40 points in 2 days. 20 and 20 make it 40. So that's exciting. And Damian is the leader. You know, the way he plays, he set the tone. You know, I mean, he really set the tone for the other players, you know, to play big. And he's, I think everybody has to follow him, you know. And, but as I said, the Nuggets are the problem because of the Nikola. And he's a bigger player, you know, and we don't have too much size, as you know. We don't have too much size on the team that they can block him, you know. And you know the problem, Chad, with the Blazers right now is the bench. Our bench are one of the lowest, you know, one of the lowest team in the NBA. You know, yesterday, when they put our bench 3 minutes before end of the time, they put the bench, and the Dallas, they beat our bench 14 to 4 or something like that. So we need, if they do some trading in this February, it has to be something with the bench. I mean, I don't see any problem with Ant Simon. If they want to trade him, that would be a mistake. I will tell you later why. But because nobody can replace Ant Simon unless they get a similar, you know, like a point guard, like say True Holiday, you know, from Milwaukee. True Holiday is better than Ant Simon. Like, can they get True Holiday? No. So what I'm saying is the problem is a bench right now. If they don't fix up the bench, they have problem to get into the you know, to the championship.
Oh,
that's all I can say. And
well, you're the best,
that's all
Victor.
I can say, man.
Hey, enjoy
Thank
your
you,
night.
man.
You're the best. You know I love your calls, Victor. Yeah, the bench is a problem. They need scoring off the bench. They need someone that can come in and fill it up, and they don't have that right now. And they've got some individuals like we keep waiting. Who's going to be that guy? Can Nasir be that guy? I think we're kind of hoping that. But, yeah, they need instant offense off the bench. They don't have it. They don't have it. And right now, after the 2 wins against Dallas, just 2 games out of 5th place in the West. Let's go back out to the phones. Ralph, the landscaper, is back. What's up, Ralphie?
Hey, how you doing tonight, Chan? You look on here on the YouTube, Rip Space City Space Radio. You look like you're kind of tired or something. Are you under a little bit of stress? You got some things going on in your life you want to sit down and tell Ralphie about?
No, I'm actually doing very well. Unfortunately, for the crew here at Rip City Radio, there are weeks like this where the Blazers play games on Saturday and Sunday. So this is probably my, 14th straight day of working because of the basketball schedule. So if I look tired, that's probably why. I don't feel tired. I actually feel pretty good and energized, but I'm glad to know that I'm not giving my best side on the YouTube. My apologies.
Well, you're not looking bad, Chan. You just look just a little bit tired. One of those deals where if you don't get a good night's rest tonight or and tomorrow, you might kind of get kind of run down. But I know you run 100 miles and played 8 rounds of golf a week, so you should be okay, I think.
By the way, speaking of tomorrow, Puppy Shots turns 6 years old, so it's Puppy Shots' birthday tomorrow. Isn't that cool?
No, that's wonderful. What, you got something planned or?
Well, I'm not. It's. I think what I'm going to do. I do. I've been talking to my daughter about this. She thinks that we need to have a birthday celebration, and that he should be able to eat whatever he wants. He loves to have McDoubles from McDonald's, so she thinks a couple of McDoubles would be good since it's his birthday. It's not the best thing for him, but it's his birthday, so one day off from his normal doggy nutrition might be a good idea. And then she wants to take him to the pet store so he can go in and sniff around and be able to pick out a toy.
Now, who wants this to happen?
My daughter, Kaylee.
Well, that's okay, because it's a deal for your daughter, too,
Yeah, it's important for her, too. No question.
Yeah, so you need to step up and do that. So, I had a couple people here, Chan, today say to me, I was out, at breakfast and a couple things, and people said, hey, that deal you call in on, there was apparently a guy that we know, that UPS driver, is Josh is his name, I think, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, I guess he called in and kind of broke some news, and they tried to explain it to me. So I wasn't sure if it was accurate or not. So, I thought about it a little bit. But what was the deal there?
Well, I'm sure glad you asked about that. So let me see if I can explain this. He called in to announce that he was entering into a throuple with his wife and his hairstylist. And I did not know what the term meant. And so I looked it up, and I guess it's a relationship involving 3. It's like a triad, so to speak.
Mm. Oh, okay. Huh. So, that's more or less what a couple people told me, and they said, Ralph, we were hoping you'd call in and comment on that. And I'm a business guy, and
well, do you have any experience with thruples?
Well, no, I don't, but I'm kind of more like you, Chan. I just kind of they said that word, and I said, what is that a tree? Is that a type of tree that you plant? Is that what you do? And they said, no, that's not a. They laughed, and I thought I was, the dumbest person in the world. But apparently, once they told me what it was, I guess I'm closer to normal than being dumb about that. So anyway, to me, I start thinking about the practical stuff of that, Chan. Like you asked the question. They said you asked where they're going to live, and I asked stuff like that, and I just had to. I thought about it, and I realized something that when he gets his hair cut from her, the only payment he's giving her is just the tip. So I wanted to let you know that's probably the way that situation works. And
well, I don't know what to say to that. You got any comment on that, Burkhart? You're good too, huh?
Well, anyway, that's kind of what I wanted to share with you, Chan. At least, that's.
Again, this is the concept. The concept is so new to me that I just haven't had the time to process it. As I told him, and I was very honest, in my personal experience, just being in a relationship with one individual has proven to be quite challenging most of the time. I can't imagine 2 being added into that mix. I can't handle 1. I can't imagine a throuple. That's just, in my experience, that seems like a lot to take on. That's a little bit more than
Is it a throuple or a thruple?
I think it's a
Or
throuple, isn't it?
Thruple.
A throuple, not a triple, not like a three-pointer, but a throuple.
A thruple.
Yes.
Like a loophole, but a throuple.
Yeah. I think what you should do is you should probably check in with Lucy and get her take on it, and then you can report back to the fifth quarter. Because as your main associate, she's pretty wise, not just with business, but with the ways of the world. She might be able to give better insight.
Yeah, she definitely would. You know, she could tell me all about it with a straight face and just kind of, you know, not kind of worried or laughing or anything. She'd say, "Oh, well, that works, Ralph." She's done that before, Chan. You know, I've asked her some stuff. But here's my other idea, Chan. You know, I have a disdain and you have an appreciation for those Hallmark movies.
Yes.
Well, I think we have a Hallmark movie here, the Thruple, or whatever it's called. You know, they got all the guy meets girl part done, and now you just need to ease into that, and have the Thruple be the next part.
Well, and then if you really want to spice it up, they could use that storyline and package it into a Christmas movie, and then boom, there you go. That sounds like a winner.
Yeah, and you know, you could have a good writer in there, and what does Santa have in his bag for us today? All kinds of good things.
And then you could reenact the phone call where one of the three calls into a local talk show to express what's on his heart and mind and explain to the rest of the people what's going on.
Yeah, and then the talk show host could actually kind of squeeze one of them out of there and be part of the thruple. You know, you ever thought about it that way, Chan?
No.
You know,
but that is a possibility. Yeah, I mean, again, they have creative freedom, so they could spice that up as well, I guess.
Yeah, you know, and anyway, I'm going to let you go, Chan. I just wanted to check in and see how you're doing and make sure you're okay. And
I mean, when you're milling your bark dust, what you do, and it's made special. When you're milling bark dust, it's just you. There's not like two other people that are assisting you, right?
No, you know, these machines that I invented and built to do that are ones where I don't even let any of my crew in there because these machines don't mess around. You know what I'm saying, Chan? These machines just they go to town, and it's pretty quiet, but it's because the blades are so sharp, and it's a cross cut, and it's followed by a hex cut, followed by a shimmy cut, one after another, cross cut, hex cut, shimmy cut, and then a little bit of grinding. I'm not going to say what the next step is because some of these people might try to sell it and get money. But good luck. Go ahead and figure it out. Come on over and I'll show it to you, and then see if you can be successful at it like I am. It's not going to happen. I'll just say that.
All right.
So, all right, Chan. Well, you have a good night, okay?
All right, you too, buddy. Ralph the Landscaper, East Amity.
Find out about how the payment situation there works for me.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right, see you later.
There you go. Ralph the Landscaper. I just saw a Bo and Hope reference on the YouTube chat, going back to the days of our lives when I was younger. My brother and I used to watch it when we were boys.
Yeah, there was a comment in there. Might have been Dogcatcher said that, these are the days of our lives. And I was like, yeah, like sand through the hourglass. Next thing you know, days of our lives rants going on in the chat. YouTube's awesome.
Scott's right. Hope was hot. I agree. Luke and Laura. I do remember, you've been out here a long time, like back in the day when KUFO was a rock music station.
Oh, dude, it's my favorite station.
My favorite was the Menage a Trois Weekend.
Yeah, mine too.
The best.
Speaking of, it was the thruples of music, except it worked.
Yes. What was his name? Who was the morning host for years? Oh, it's going to kill me. I listened to him every morning because my alarm would go off to it. But I loved it because you get like 3 of Pearl Jam, 3 of Metallica.
That's why I got excited. It was 3 Metallica songs.
I was always going in the weight room at the health club.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
I would always get mad listening to KUFO, and I'd hear a bell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, sweet, for whom the bell tolls. And then you hear the next bell, and you're like, oh, no, it's Hell's Bells by AC/DC. I was teased, and now I'm mad.
You were teased. All right. What are your final thoughts on tonight? You know, that here's what's cool about the back-to-back wins. We'll find out what it means when they play in Denver. Toughest place for them to play is Tuesday night at Ball Arena in Denver.
Yeah.
It's usually a bad trip. It's a tough place to play against one of the best teams in the NBA. We'll see what this little two-game winning streak does for them in terms of confidence, their offense, the execution. I want to see if they can continue that Tuesday.
I want to see if Nasir Little looks as comfortable as he did today against a much better team in Denver. He gave Portland exactly what they've been needed for weeks now, Chad. Just that guy to come off the bench and get the job done. Really like that. That's what I want to see. And then Yusuf Nurkic. Don't get too into the moment of, okay, going against Jokic because we know how he gets, and just continue to play consistently like you've doing. You do got a couple options in the YouTube chat. One, was it Marconi? He was one of the DJs. I know that because I listened to him, but I think that was like afternoons.
Yeah, it was not Marconi.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. It's going to kill me. It's going to kill me. I wish I knew. Let's see here. I can't think of it. Bill Prescott.
There you go.
Bill Prescott in the morning. The memory is still there. It just takes a little bit longer to get to sometimes. Bill Prescott. Yeah. I listened to all the Portland hosts, man. Bill Prescott was great. Craig Walker was my all-time favorite. Yeah, those were the days, man. No responsibilities. Just get to school on time, get your homework done, and go work out and hang out with your friends and play hoop. It's a pretty simple life.
Waiting for your favorite song to come on the radio so that you could hit record on your cassette tape, and if you missed it, you were mad because you had to start all over.
My mom got so mad at me because I ruined some of her cassette tapes by putting the tape over the ends.
That's awesome.
Where'd this tape go? I don't know. Yep.
Chad's Summer Jams, 89.
Dude, we did a Civil War report in the 8th grade, and my teacher at the time, Mr. Kink, he was my homeroom teacher. Well, we paired up, and my partner was this guy, John, and I had to do an interview with him, and I didn't have a tape, so I took my Mr. tape, and I recorded over a portion of the tape. And we got an A on the report, but he wrote it, had a handwritten note, and he goes, "Great job, but why would you record over such a great cassette?" And he was upset with me because I didn't have a choice. I needed a tape, so I had to use my own.
Yeah, there you go, man. Do what you got to do to get the tunes down.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us. Big thanks to all of you on the YouTube chat tonight. Thank you. And to all of you listening, we appreciate it. Again, our next Trailblazer broadcast will come up on Tuesday as the Blazers are into the Mile High City to take on the Denver Nuggets. We'll have game day starting at 3, tip-off at 6 here on 620 Rip City Radio. Your final score from Motor Center tonight, your Portland Trailblazers top the Dallas Mavericks 140-123. For my partner, Chris Burkhardt, I'm Chad Doing. Have a good night, my friends.